פרק רביעי, Mishnah Aleph. This is going to start becoming more interesting now. ביאור Mishnah Aleph. Explanation for Mishnah Aleph. כבר הזכרנו, we already mentioned, שהדר בעיר מותר לו ללכת בשבת כל העיר כולה ומחוץ לה 2,000 אמה לכל רוח. If you live in a particular city, you can walk throughout the city, and after the last house of the city, you can walk 2,000 אמה to any direction. What happens? ואם יצא אדם חוץ לתחומו בשבת מבלי לערב. You didn't do an Eruv, and you went out of the 2,000 אמה. What happens then? What happens? What do you do then? אין לו, so it says, it's simple, אין לו אלא 400 סביבות. It says, not, that's it, you stuck. You got...
400 to run around.
That's right. It's exactly, it's 6 feet by 6 feet, approximately. Yeah, you stuck pretty much. שיעור זה של 400, how do we learn this 400? למדים בברייתא בגמרא. כמו שנאמר שם, this is, I think it's with the manna. They went out to collect the manna on the things, and God says, talk to Moshe, go talk to them. So he comes talk to them, he tells them, Shvu ish tachtav. It says, you have to sit, you cannot go around on Shabbos, collect manna. Shvu ish tachtav, it says, sit a man underneath him. Al yetzei ish mekomo bayom hashvi. A person is not allowed to go out from his place on the seventh day. V'darshu shvu ish tachtav. And they said, what is the tachtav? How much is the tachtav? Kama tachtav? So it says, 4 amot. It says it's 4 amot. So how do you get to 4 amot? So it says easy. 3 amot legufo. It's about 3 amma. A person is about 3 amma tall. Yeah? 1.5 meters around. It was shorter maybe then. 3 amma tall. ואחת כדי לפשוט ידיו ורגליו. And then your hand extension, your legs extension, you want to extend them also. משנתנו בא ללמד שאפילו הוצא אדם מתחומו בשבת בעל כורחו. Our Mishnah comes to teach us now something new. What did it come to teach you? You were taken out of the city limit by force. You didn't want to go out. Okay. It was by force. It doesn't matter, it says. אין לו שם אלא 400 בלבד. You only have your 4 amot. In other words, you're stuck over there, unless obviously, if you're in danger with your life, you can do whatever you want. Yeah, but we're talking about there's no danger. Yeah. Hello, Moshe. You can write in the beginning of the Mishnah. Hello. We are on chapter Revi'i, Mishnah Aleph. We already read the introduction. We're going to start the Mishnah itself. So this is the case, Moshe. Mi sheotzi'u goyim. Goyim come. The goyim come and grab somebody and take him out of the 2,000 amma of the city limits. They grab him. They took him. בשבת חוץ לתחום בעל כוחו. He didn't want to go. They forced him. או רוח רעה. Or he became crazy. You know, some people become mentally ill. They start wandering. Okay. So he became mentally ill and he started to wander. Yeah. After a couple of days, after a couple of hours, he became clear again. You know, they go in and out. He says, where am I? So ruach ra'ah, a bad spirit comes upon him, שנכנסה בו, that came into him, שנטרפה דעתו, he became crazy, ויצא חוץ לתחום. He went out of this 2,000 אמה area. וכשהיה חוץ לתחום, הניחו הגויים, או נשתפה. When he was there, the goyim ran away, left him over there, or he became, oh, where am I? And he saw that he's 2,000 amma outside of the city. So the question now is he allowed to go back to the city or not? So it says, Ein lo ela 4 amot. It says he doesn't have the right, that's it, he's stuck. I know he didn't want to go out, it wasn't on purpose. So sit down until after Shabbos.
Because he's there.
Yeah, sit down until after Shabbos. That's what you have to do. You sit, you have 4 amot, almost nothing, yeah, and you have to sit there the entire Shabbat. As I said, if it's dangerous, obviously, any pikuach nefesh, you can do whatever you want for pikuach nefesh. But we're talking about there's no pikuach nefesh. They left you under a tree. Stay under the tree until Shabbos is over. Okay. אין לו אלא 400, סביבו כמו שביארנו בקדם שלנו. He only has 400. What happens? Now comes the big. They took him out by force, and after 2 hours, they returned him, also by force. He didn't want to return, he was not allowed to. But the same guys that took him out now put him back in. החזירו הגויים בעל כורחו לתוך התחום, או שחזר מתוך טירוף דעתו, or he came back when he was crazy, he didn't know, כאילו לא יצא. It says, we're not going to say, we're going to penalize him now, you know, we're not going to penalize him. We're going to consider him just like he didn't live. It was forced, so therefore it's good. והרי הוא שוב כבני עירו, and he is again like these people in his city, שמהלך בכל העיר כולה וחוצה ל2,000 אמה לכל רוח. He's allowed to walk the entire city, and outside of it, 2,000 אמה. ודווקא כשהוציאו והחזירו בר כוחו, and all this is true when they forced him to go back. What happens if he decided, no, I want to go back on my own? אבל אם יצא מן התחום לדעתו, but if he went out of the area on his own behalf, he walked out. He decided whatever. And then they caught him and they returned him to the city. So he sinned. He decided to walk out. Then they caught him and they sent him. אף על פי שהחזירו בעל כוחו, even though they returned him by force, or אם הציעו בעל כוחו וחזר לדעתו, or if they took him one way, it doesn't matter which way, but one way he sinned and one way he didn't, that's what it means. אין לו אלא 400. He only has 400 even where within the city. Because he sinned, we're going to penalize him.
Penalize him like you're there.
That's right. You only have your 400.
Don't consider they brought you back.
That's right. That's right. What happens? הוליכוהו הגויים בעל כורחו לעיר אחרת. The goyim took him to another town.
Oh, and the town have Eruv.
That's right. Or המוקפת מחיצו, או נתנו בדיר. We learned about it. There's a big corral for animals in between the two cities. Okay. And they put him, and it has fences now. So the question now, can he use the fences as the entire area, or he still only has 400? Yeah. או נתנו בדיר מקום גדול לצאן כדי שיזבלוהו. We said what's a dir? It's a place where you graze the animals, או בסהר, שטח גדול לשמירת הצאן. It's a place, a big area to keep your sheep. So רבן גמליאל ורבי אליעזר בן עזריה אומרים, רבן גמליאל and רבי אליעזר בן עזריה, they say, מהלכת כולה. It says he's allowed to use the entire area that is fenced. Why? שהואילו, it says simple, מוקיפים מחיצות, they're covered, there's a fence around. הרי הם נחשבים כ400, it's רשות היחיד. Whatever is covered with fence.
Well, he passed 2,000 on?
Yeah, I know, but he was forced. It wasn't on purpose.
They let him.
Yeah, he was forced. It wasn't them. רבי יהושע ורבי עקיבא אומרים, but רבי יהושע and רבי עקיבא are going to be more stringent, they're going to say, אין לו אלא 400. We're only going to give him the 400. Why? הואיל, it says, there's a rule about when do you buy the place that you walk around. It says, makom shvita you buy when you have access to it. He, when Shabbos came in, did not have access to it. Therefore, it's like the food. Okay. It doesn't do anything. The fence doesn't do. He never had access. He was not allowed to go there. So since he was not allowed to go there, he doesn't buy it. So these fences are not for him. There are fences. If he was there when Shabbos came in, he can use it. But since he didn't have availability to go there when Shabbos comes in, we're not going to have to use it. רבי יהושע ורבי עקיבא אומרים, אין לו אלא 400. He only has the 400. הואיל ולא שבת, שם בכניסת השבת. Because he didn't stay there, he didn't have availability to the place on Shabbat. It was out of the area. אין המחיצות מועילות לו. This מחיצות doesn't help to him. ולכן אסור לו ללך שמה אלא 400 בלבד. He's only allowed to walk over there 400. ויש מבארים הטעם, this is one opinion, there are those who explains the reason, שגזרו בהם משום מקום שאינו מוקף מחיצות. It's a גזירה, because once you allow him, it can be a very big place, and you don't even see the fence. So if you decide, I can walk over here where I don't see the fence, next time they're going to do it to me, I might walk somewhere else without seeing a fence, and there's no fence in the other place. Some say this is the gzera. Okay. Now comes an interesting case. מעשה שבאו חכמים מפרנדיסין. פרנדיסין is עיר נמל בדרום מזרח איטליה. So the sages came on a boat from Italy. They're coming to Israel on a boat. והפליגה ספינתה בים. So you're saying, why are it's a question over here. First of all, why are the sages traveling on Shabbat?
Because they went before Shabbat. So
Oh, they went before Shabbat, but it doesn't take a week to get to Israel.
no, הוא חייב...
Yeah, it doesn't take a week from Italy to Israel.
How long it take? I don't know.
It doesn't take a week.
2 days? I don't know.
Probably even with in those days it took 2 days, maybe more, maybe less. Yeah, so what? So it looks like they didn't have much choice. What do you mean? The boats leave from Italy when the guys want them to leave, not when they want to leave. That was the route.
אבל איך אתה יודע? והפליגה ספינתם בים?
No, I'm just saying side issue.
Oh.
They have a side. It looks like you're allowed to go on a boat before Shabbat. I don't know for 3 days, maybe even 1 day before Shabbat, maybe in 2 days. Maybe they didn't have a choice at all. Okay. לאחר שעגנה הספינה בנמל, בערב שבת, הפליגה בשבת בים חוץ לתחום. In other words, they went into the boat on Friday, and then the boat started going.
Shabbat.
Yeah, it's on Shabbos now. Now,
Like Friday night they went in and Shabbos they...
Friday day, let's say. Friday day they went in.
into the boat and Shabbos morning it started to go.
Or Friday night it starts to go after Shabbos came in.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's the case.
So what is Shabbos there?
It's Shabbos now.
Okay.
So now, here is the thing. It's exactly the same case as we had before. What do you mean? The Sfina is like, it's like an Eruv, right? The entire Sfina. And it's going to go out 2,000 amah from the city. So now, what are they going to do on the Sfina? Oh, so it says, some say you're allowed to walk the entire way, the entire Sfina, and some say you cannot, you only have it for Amos. So let's see what happens over here. We have the sages. So it says, and over here we have the sages. So it says, who do we have? Rabban Gamliel veRabbi Elazar ben Azariah halchu et kula. Just like the system, they says you're allowed to walk the entire time.
Like
So-
they said in the other
Like they say in the other one, it says, we are allowed to walk the entire ship. היו מהלכים בכל הספינה, כדין מי שהוציאו נחרים מחוץ לתחום. So this is exactly the same case.
אבל זה לא, because they are not אנוסים. They did it themselves.
Oh, that's why I told you, they don't have a choice. That's why,
Oh.
that's when
Yeah.
there's no other way to get there.
Okay.
Okay?
אז זה אנוסים.
In
a way.
In a way, yeah.
Okay.
And also, they didn't, think about it, they didn't do anything which is forbidden. They went into the boat. I know they're tricking, but they didn't actively go against God. They went into the boat. They knew the boat is going to go. It's a trick, but they didn't act it. There's a difference between actively doing something and letting somebody else do it. I'll give you an example. If a non-Jew carries you to shul on Shabbos, you letting him carry you. You allowed to?
I don't think so.
You never seen.
Logic saying you can let the goy do the מלאכה בשבילך.
But are you Mechal Shabbos? Let's do the question.
לא.
Oh, you see, there's a difference.
They carry you, לא מכנה את שבת.
He's allowed to carry. Yeah? You will see many times, for example, where do we see these examples?
So what if the bus there by the station, you know, open the bus guy and the door open and this, and I just walk in. I don't do nothing.
Very good question. Halachically on Shabbat, a bus might be a problem, but because there's a question on the bus, if it takes more, there's one more penny that you burn of gas because of your weight. And in a bus, it's questionable. But I'll tell you where it's not questionable, on a train. And the halacha on a train, actually, for a subway, exactly in New York, it says you don't have to get out of the train if you're already on it, if Shabbat comes in. You can wait until your station and get out in your station, and that's the halacha until today. Because you're actively not doing anything. So this is what's happening over here. It's not the right thing to do, but it's okay. Don't get into that's the idea. ונתנו בדין או בשר שהספינה מוקפה מחיצות. So they say you're allowed to walk the entire ספינה. רבי יהושע ורבי עקיבא לא זזו מארבע אמות. It says רבי יהושע ורבי עקיבא did not move from the 4 אמות. But look at the reasoning. They say you're not allowed to. He says, no, we're allowed to. They say we're allowed to, but we're still not going to move. Why? שרצו להחמיר על עצמם. It says this is a chumrah. So we have to understand. Before, it was prohibition. Now it's a chumrah. What happened? So let's understand. אומנם אף הם סופרים ששונה ספינה מדיר ומסר. It says we agree with you that a boat is not like a fenced area. It's not the same. Why not? שהרי היא באה כל שעה לארבע אמות אחרות. It says you can't do it. It says look at the boat. Anyway, it's traveling in the sea. In other words, the boat itself is traveling. It's not this. So anyway, we are going. We are moving. We are moving anyway. So it says, what's the difference? It doesn't. Every second, it's in a different place. It's a different place. A different place. So what the machmir? So let them walk the entire thing. ואין אדם נמצא שם מעולם בתוך 400. It says you are never in the same area anyway if you're in a boat or on a plane. If you're stuck in the air today, yeah? ועוד שהרי שבתו בה מערב שבת מבעוד יום. And also, when did they went into the boat? מבעוד יום. By the Sahar, they were not there. They were not available in that area. ועוד שהרי שבתו בה, ולכן אף לדעתם מותר להם ללכת כל הספינה. So even according to them, for sure they were allowed to walk the entire boat. So why didn't they? So it says, we did it, you know what? Not for us, for the people. For עמי הארץ again. What we did, אלא שהם רצו להחמיר על עצמם. They wanted to be stringent. בתוספוס יוסטום, מבוארתם, שרצו להחמיר כדי שלא יטעו להתיר בדין ובשר כמו ספינה. It says, one עם הארץ is going to look when they're coming in, and the guy said, the sages are walking the entire in the entire boat. Therefore, I'm allowed to walk in the entire Sahar. They're not going to understand that the boat has a different ruling. And they're not going to understand that they were there from before Shabbat. They think, the same. You know, you said that one of the most dangerous things is someone with a little knowledge. Yeah, sometimes if a lot of knowledge is not dangerous. A little knowledge is the most dangerous because you think you know. You assume, and that kills the whole thing. It says just because we're afraid someone is going to see us moving, is going to assume he's allowed to walk in the Sahar, we're going to sit over here the entire time, the entire Shabbat.